Hello and welcome. If you are new here, I'm Di, the face and the hands behind Drift and Loop Crochet. So today we've got something different. Today we are not talking crochet, we're not doing crochet. Today what we're going to do is open these parcels here beside me. This here is my new Munbyn Thermal Label Printer. And this is what I'm going to use for all my packaging on my products in my market stalls. I will use it to make all my signage on my markets for my market stalls as well, so I can do my price tags, I can do small signs. Obviously anything that's going to be A4 I will still need to have printed at like a shop or something in town, but this will basically let me do everything packaging wise for my products that I need to do here at home. So the reason why I have gone this path is because here in the caravan, and obviously traveling in the caravan, space and weight are our main considerations. And I can't justify having an A4 printer. I know they're not heavy, but they do take up a lot of space. So this is, relatively tiny. This is the box. So, and obviously the printer is going to be smaller than what this box is. This I can justify having. This I can justify carting around in the caravan. And then I did get in, I've got a cupboard down here that's under the table that these are sitting on. And I've actually cleaned it out. So we've been in the caravan for, I think it's 2.5 years now, traveling around. And I knew that in this cupboard, like we just don't go there. So I knew that whatever is in that cupboard has not been touched basically for probably 2 years. So I was absolutely ruthless. I've just cleaned it out. It has gone. And I've now got space in this cupboard basically to store my little printer and to put my labels, and everything can just go down in there. So let's get on to opening. So this little box, I know because I did order labels. So this will be the shipping labels, the rectangle shipping labels that come on the parcels that are sent via Australia Post. So I try not to cut myself with the knife. So, which is exactly what I thought it was. They're the shipping labels, and they also pop in, I'll just say, a catalogue of all the different size labels that you can get, different sizes and different colours. We'll stick that up there. These will be more labels. I did order some round ones and some rectangle ones. So Munbyn Thermal labels, they're my little rectangle ones, which you won't be able to see with this light, or maybe you can, but they're just little white rectangle labels. This lot, oh yeah, so I did get some browny gold coloured. They're round. I know that the actual label that you can see looks square, but there is a round die cut within that square for the round label. So the reason why I got some in this colour is the thermal printers only print in black, so it'll just be black on white. And my logo is normally like a dark grey brown kind of colour, like heading towards olive. So I figured I'd just get a similar colour as the background colour, so that will then be black on like an olivey brown. And one last lot of labels. Which ones are these? These are just white round labels, same size. Actually doesn't say what size they are. No. So they're the labels. So let's get into wire into the parcel somehow. Okay, Munbyn Thermal Label Printer 300 DPI. Okay, let's open up. Hello. USB connection for the laptop and Bluetooth connection. Awesome. So today, when we go to print out the first label, I'm going to do it on my laptop, and I'll probably do most of my printing off my laptop. I just prefer to work off that than my phone. So that's really good, because that's what I was wondering about, how it was going to connect up. Let me bring this down onto my knee. So the power adapter, so for your 240, there's that. We have the rest of it. Wow, it is tiny. What else is in there? Shipping label printer, that will be the instructions. Excuse the bang. That'll be the USB cable. And that is the cute little printer. That is tiny. How good is that? That is so tiny. And that's very handy, because I was wondering which way the labels went in. So they've actually got a sample label so that you can see which way to put the paper through when you load it all up. Okay, so I'm just going to get the table organized. I'll swing the camera around so you can see what's going on, and then we will start putting everything together and connect up to the computer. By the looks of this, I may have to download a printer driver to be able to print off the laptop, and then other than that, I just use their online editor to create the labels. I know that if you're on your phone, they do have apps for both the Android and Apple. So you are able to do your labels on your phone and Bluetooth through to the printer and print them out off your phone. So if you're at the market and you wanted to do something, you know, you can still, and you've got your printer with you, obviously. Actually, that might be one thing. You would need, possibly, you will, if you're at the market, you would need access to power, because this does not run off a battery. So it would need access to 240 to be able to print out. But other than that, everything's quite portable and you can do it off your phone. So let me get this organized and then I'll come back to you. So the first thing that we'll do is hook the printer up. So we've got the packs for the 240 volt, so to go into the power, and that's just a straight hook the lead in, and then you just got to put the other end into there. So everything just comes separated just for smaller packaging space, basically. So that's the unit. I do have, that's the power lead. Everything goes into the back here. So you've got your power and your USB connection. Then we've got the USB cable, which will hook up to the computer. I've just twisted it the wrong way. Haven't got my glasses on, can't see. There we go. And then okay, so that's that done. Everything's hooked up. Your power switch is also at the back, just down here in the corner. So I did turn the power on. That's my computer saying that it's hooked up, which is always nice. I am just going to double check in the instructions because you just never know. I mean, it should be pretty self-explanatory, but I will make sure I don't have to do anything specifically like with the actual print side of it. They do actually give you some sheets for testing, so we might actually just use those today instead of opening up the big packet. Let me read the trusty instructions. Printer overview, label setup, quick printer connection. So that's everything that we've done. Did in the correct sequence. How good's that? Label setup. Load no less than 4 consecutive labels into the printer. Okay. So the good thing also is that, if you can see that, they do actually have the message on the back of the label saying, let this side face down, please. So your actual label goes, can't separate that last sheet. The actual label goes face up. So to open it and load sheets, there's just an open button on top that you just press. And it opens up. I'll actually show you inside. It just looks like that, basically. And then your printer, your paper is coming along this bottom section down here. So I'm going to take that out, which is a sample sheet from the factory. And one would assume, there we go. Oh, you're right, Shadow. I've got Shadow beside me. She's never heard a printer, so she's like, oh my God. It's okay, Bubba Girl. Yeah, no, Pussycat's gone. That's too scary. Alrighty, so that is all green. So next, keep going through the instructions. That is for Bluetooth. We want the printer, Bluetooth printing, Bluetooth, Munbyn editor, USB connection. So connect the printer to the computer using a USB. Yep, we've done all that. So like what I thought, we do have to get the Munbyn print driver. So I do need to download that. So let's go online to Munbyn and see what we can find. Let's try Munbyn label printer. Munbyn. It'd have to be under download, wouldn't it? Well, it looks like they don't have the driver printers there, so there we go. All right, driver manuals, drivers is what we want. And then you need to find what your model number is. And I know mine's the 941, but what I do know is that underneath there they have your model number. So if you're ever not too sure, it's right there. And we want Windows USB download. That bit's a bit easier. Download. Windows page something. Let's just wait. Wait, waiting, waiting, waiting. It's a bit happier now. Got the new page loading. Some of that's not necessarily anything to do with Munbyn. I know that we run Starlink, and I know that our service has been really, really bad this last probably 2 to 3 weeks. Can't reach this page. Well, that probably is Munbyn. I knew it was going to too easy. Shouldn't have done that either. Well, they do say otherwise insert the flash drive in the instruction manual, but unfortunately I did not get a flash drive. All right, guys, I am going to get this sorted. I will look into what the issue is, try and sort it out, and then I'll come back to you because you don't need to watch paint dry. Okay, guys, so I am back. It is some 4.5 hours later. I finally got the printer drivers installed on my computer. So basically, it's been a bit of a epic saga. I kept trying after I sort of turned the camera off and left you guys there. And then obviously no success. So I did a ticket to support and then got a message back saying that it would be a minimum 2-hour wait time for support. And I was like, that's okay. I can wait 2 hours. So I waited 2 hours and then I was like, I don't do waiting. So I mucked around a little bit more and then I thought, let's have a look for support on the Munbyn Australia site. And that was when I found an email for support. So I sent an email through to support just telling them what my issues were. Might have been about half an hour, three-quarters of an hour later, I got an email back and it was AI support. And the AI support was actually pretty good. Came back straight away, knew exactly what my issue was and sent me to another page to download the driver. Unfortunately, I had the exact same result. So I sent back an email saying, you know, that didn't help, still the same problem. We went back and forth a couple of times. I got sent to about 2 or 3 different locations to download this driver. No luck anywhere. Nothing worked. And then the AI support just said to me that they would hand me over to the human support and it would be a minimum 24 hours before I had a response. And so it was at that point that I went, I'm not waiting 24 hours. I've got stuff I need to do. I had planned to make this video today and it needs to be made today. And so then I just had this idea, and it probably also helps that my background is computer programming. So I do kind of know my way around computers a bit. But I just had this idea. I thought, oh, let me jump on my phone and try and download the exe file onto my phone, and I'll see if I have the same issue. And I did. It just hung there as well. And then, but I did get another box that came up like that said open in app. And I went, oh, what's that? Let me see what this app is. So I had to download the pCloud app, set up an account, and then I was actually able to copy the files across onto that pCloud. And from there, I was able to download the file that I needed onto my phone. And then all I did was hook my phone into my computer, transfer the exe file across onto my desktop, and voila, I had it there. So I installed the drivers. So we are now, hopefully, fingers crossed, everything will work, because I haven't even done a test print. But my drivers are installed. When I go into like my control panel and I go down into my printers, it is now seeing the Munbyn printer. I've got all the information there, like what you would see when you go into a normal printer, all my options to set my page size and all of that kind of stuff. So I am assuming that this is going to work. So I think we can go to the editor and make my first little label and hopefully finish this video, fingers crossed. So the next step after you've got all of that here on the laptop is that they do have an online editor. So I'll just jump back online. Munbyn, I think online editor should get it. I need to put my glasses on. Here we go, Munbyn editor. Create attractive labels online for free. Get started for free. That's what we want. And we want to create a label. Okay, so it comes up where P130, 403. What was mine? A P941 maybe? Let me just double check. So all I'm doing here in this first bit is setting my, P941B, is setting the model number, and that will obviously be for connecting up when we go to print. Gap, don't know what that means. So it's the positioning. I don't think we have any black on ours. I'll just leave that. All sizes. Let's just go shipping label white and create. Okay, so this is in the editor. So you must be able to open a template. Oh yeah, so they've got all different templates. So obviously if you click on that, what do I click? We're doing a reading list. So, and then you must be able to, so you can edit everything. Oops, it doesn't let you do that though. It doesn't have a select all. I'm just going to delete all of that out because I don't want a reading list. Okay, and then we do tags. We've got text, image, barcode, QR code, time, element, shape, and tables. What have we got up here? Undo, redo, page flip. Oh, yep, so that gives you your horizontal or your vertical. And I want mine horizontal. So what we will do, image. Sweet, so we can just upload files, so that's nice and easy. Sign into Munbyn, okay, I'll do that. go back. I remember where my that's what I want. So that is just my logo. So you can obviously drag and drop, put stuff anywhere, resize. It's actually very easy to use. We'll just whack a label in there. We'll pop some text on, font style. We'll do it as a title. Oh, okay, so you can do either a font style down here on this side, or over here on this side is where you can select like your actual font name, and you can do your font size, whatever you would like to do basically. You don't quite want it that big. So you still don't want it that big. That's pretty cool. It's very, very simple. I'm just looking at what an element is. Oh, okay, so element, they've got icons and pictures and all sorts of stuff in there that you can put in. Otherwise, you can just upload your own. Alrighty, let's print. Let's see if this puppy works. I'm excited. I'm excited. So save, download, print. Tip, users of models should directly click cancel to, okay, that's nothing to do with me. System printing requires downloading the driver. Good luck with that. Please select the printer device with better. The printer is confirmed. Alright. What's to pair? Let's pair. It's connected. Free time. Print settings. Print density. I have no idea what print density is. Printing speed. Dithering mode. Let's just go Bluetooth printing and see what happens. Fingers crossed. What's that say? Blue? No, that's okay. I wouldn't have thought. I must have Bluetooth on. No. I don't reckon. Well, that didn't work. That's a bit disappointing. Let's try and print again. I don't want Bluetooth. Let's disconnect. Because I also know that my printer for other models, please use system printing. Oh! Oh my God! Did you see that? Ta-da! It worked! Yay! How exciting is that? That's really cool. Yahoo! It took me, what time did I start? I think I started filming at about 11:30 this morning, and it is now 5:15. So, yeah, nearly 6 hours to get that. Woohoo! So, yeah. One thing I can see, like the print quality is really, really good. On my logo, though, I don't know if you'll be able to see if I put it up there, but there is, my logo needs to be fixed up. It's not a high enough res, so a lot of the printing has been lost, a lot of the lines and that, but that's okay, that's fixable, that's not an issue at all. Guys, we did it. Woohoo! So from here, now that this is done, I will have fun tonight because I will start sorting out some of the packaging for my dishcloths and my face scrubbies and all that sort of stuff. My idea is to do tags that are basically double-sided, so just a swing tag. One side will basically be that. I'll probably put my email address on there as well. So yeah, one side will be the logo, the other side will be care instructions, and that way I don't have to worry about putting separate cards in or anything like that. All the information is then on the product and it is good to go. So I'm really excited. We might have had a little hiccup in the middle, but yeah, bit of troubleshooting, bit of thinking outside the square, and we've got the finished product. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care. Thank you for watching. Bye.